Welcome to Marketing Rapid Fire episode 9. It's so lovely to be doing these episodes every 2 weeks. We've really seen the audience grow and the love that comes from everybody that has attended this show over the last couple of months. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out on your Saturday to come be with us and learn and not hear gyan. I mean, literally, the show was created so you hear no gyan and you can actually take away real life marketing sort of lessons and learnings from people that are in the field from different backgrounds. That is one of the criteria of this show. So let's quickly begin. My name is Vanshika Mehta, as you all probably know. I am a brand storyteller communication specialist, host of the show, community builder, and probably LinkedIn obsessed person. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Quickly, I'll let the panelists introduce themselves, and then I'll give you a quick intro into what the show is going to look like, and then we'll get right into it. So let's just go alphabetical. Devesh, if you want to start.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Devesh. I work as a marketing manager and at Zimeo, and I basically deal with creating strategies and engines for the marketing companies, especially startups. I worked in this industry for 2-3 years, and whatever I think I'm going to be put on spot by Vanshika today. So I'm hoping that does not happen.
I don't think it will. We will make sure we'll try our best not to. Harshal, go for it.
Yeah, good morning everyone. My name is Merkle. I'm into this marketing field since
We can't hear you. There seems to be a lot of echo.
now is it better?
Yes, better now.
All right. Yeah, so good morning everyone. My name is Harshal. I'm into this marketing field since 4 years now. With most of the experiences with a startup, then I was handling A to Z of marketing, and then an agency called Merkle Sokrati now. I also had a few entrepreneurial journeys in between my short stints with them, and also experience with stock markets. And I've launched a few crowdfunding campaigns in US.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome. So, Sohini, go for it.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, whenever you go alphabetical order since school, I have had the privilege of always coming in. Thanks to my parents for that. Yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Sohini. I'm working with upGrad, which is the leading edtech player in the online higher education sector. So at upGrad, I'm working in brand marketing and leading PR for the past 1.5 years. Prior to that, I was with ICICI Prudential Life, where I was in a very similar profile of brand, content, and social media. So yeah, this is just about it.
That's awesome. Sanjana, go for it.
Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm a product marketing specialist at Hippo Video. So I take care of influencer marketing, video marketing, and product marketing. I'm also the podcast host of our channel called Limitless. I come from a pure B2B background, so let me see how far I'm able to answer.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for accepting to be on the show. Quickly, for everyone who's here new, let me just quickly explain how the show will run. So as you all probably know, it's basically there are 12 questions for this panelist. Each of them get 1 minute to answer that particular question. First six questions go alphabetical. The last six go ulta. So it'll be Devesh, Harshal, Sohini, Sanjana for the first six, and then we swap it over just to make it more fun. And the topics that we're gonna have today, we're gonna start off with a little generic kind of stuff, like generic questions that have come in from the audience. Move into brand marketing, video marketing, and digital marketing. So all of these folks over here with me today have experience in all of them, and I'm really excited to kind of begin. So, Devesh, are you excited to answer the first question first?
Yes, I'm very definitely excited.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's start off with the generic questions first, just to warm you guys up. So this is a question that came from the audience, from a person called Titas, and they ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the importance of getting a degree in marketing in the Indian ecosystem space? So I'll just start the buzzer. If you do cross it, you will definitely hear it and you'll know that you've crossed it. So it'll ring pretty loud. So yeah, go for it.
I do think degrees give you a basic understanding and give you a theoretical knowledge. But from my own personal experience, I think that when you work outside, that is the best way to gain the knowledge about any kind of digital marketing campaign or whatever you're doing in your personal space. I've seen a lot of people without any degrees, without just any graduation degrees, and they're doing quite well because they have a lot of technical knowledge that they have gained through what they have done so far in the 2 3 years.
Awesome. Okay, so you didn't buzz the buzzer. Okay, Harshal, go for it.
Yeah, so I really, in terms of rating, I would give hardly 3 or 4 out of 10 because most of the marketing is not predefined. Marketing is a very dynamic landscape. It's changing every few months. Every 3 4 months, we are seeing a new formats, new context, and what theories gives you is 5 years, 10 years from now, or when you get dirty in the field, what you should do and all. But it's a very dynamic field. In fact, most of the marketeers I see around are engineers. That is very different from marketing, and they make the best marketeers. So I don't think it's required. It's all coming from experience. It's all coming from experiments, learnings, personal experiences, and observations. So I don't think degree plays a role here.
Okay, interesting. Sohini, go for it.
So I would like to differ, and I would give degree a rating of 10 out of 10 for the need to be a marketeer. The reason is not the knowledge that the degree is going to give you, but it is more because you need a job as a marketeer, right? So when you are getting hired by a company, they are going to look at your CV if you don't have an experience. Of course, there are going to be those outliers who have learned on their own and who will know a lot. But look at it from a recruiter's perspective. It's like them looking for a needle in a haystack. Do you think the company recruiters have that kind of time to do it? So they will cut short your resume basis what is the kind of degrees that you have, what is the kind of experience that you have, and if you don't have an experience, then the way to get a job in marketing is having a degree in marketing. But I do agree a lot of the things that you will learn in marketing in the degree may not be applied in the job, and in the job you will get to learn way more, which will enrich your resume.
Okay, that's what the buzzer sounds like. I think she's got hung. Sanjana, go for it.
Okay, so I think there are two ways to look at this. So if you're a mid-level marketer or if you're a practitioner, I think you don't need to have a degree. So you just have to practice. You have to get your hands dirty and experiment with campaigns and learn by yourself. But if you want to scale and move forward in your career, like if you want to become a CFO or if you want to become a VP marketing, then the board is not going to give you that designation if you don't have a degree. So if you want to be that person, then I think you need to have a degree. This is my answer.
Got it. Okay. So only one person buzzed the buzzer till now, so you know what that sounds like. But okay, Devesh, next question for you is this is also from the audience, and Neha asks, we as marketers run a lot of different campaigns. How do you ensure that the quality of users that are coming in through your campaigns is high?
It's all about data, honestly. Last 4 months, we have spent a lot of time on data, and whatever content you have to revisit it. It's not like you posted a blog 6 months ago and you can forget about it. You have to revisit it. You have to see what kind of people are coming. If you're targeting it to a certain segment of people, whether that response is coming or not. So data is very important and very centric.
That's okay. You can jump in on the next question. I'll repeat it for you.
Okay, so you sorry, I'll continue.
Yeah,
so you have to reanalyze the data, retarget, and then you have to get from there. And nothing beats testing and failing and testing and failing and testing in marketing. You have to keep doing that.
Totally. All right, interesting. Go for it, Harshal.
Yeah, so I agree with Devesh, when he said, that the data plays a very important role. So I think it plays important role in understanding your audience, understanding your personas. How do you ensure the quality of audience is by making sure that, you're targeting the right quality of audience. You're targeting the audience, what is there for your product by understanding your product, by understanding the personas. For example, if you're targeting mothers, who are pregnant, you should see, where they're spending time, what are the times they are most online, what are the websites they browse, at what time, and what are they finding for. So there are two ways of looking at it. First, you can get your metrics cheap, or you can get cheap quality traffic by just to lower your cost, or you can pay right price for your audience and just understand their behavior. And then you can target them properly.
Got it. Got it. All right. Sohini, so the question was, we marketers run a lot of campaigns. How do we ensure that the quality of users that are coming in is high?
My audience strategy right now, thanks to digital, it gives me a lot of tools like TV360, etc., to give me the right kind of audience to target. And I think the biggest question for a marketer is to understand who is the right audience, because once I can define it, it's very easy for me to target it given the tools that are available. And the way to define the audience, that requires a lot of research, consumer research, primary research, secondary research, talking to a salesperson who are daily dealing with the consumers, and from there you actually understand the consumer, you understand their insight, basis which you develop your communication. Once your communication is there, your understanding your audience is there, targeting is not a problem in today's day and age.
Got it. Very interesting answer. So, Sanjana, go for it.
Yeah, so if you want quality, I think you have to go for intent-based targeting and focus your targeting in that way instead of spray and pray kind of campaigns. Because now that we have so much data with us, so much relevant and accurate data about our prospects and customers, so I think you need to use that data and highly target your campaigns. In that way, you will see quality.
Got it. All right. Interesting. So now let's move on to the second part of the questions and the second group of questions, rather. So these ones will be about video marketing. So Devesh, this one goes to you first, as always. Does video marketing really get the attention of your customer, or are people not watching it because they think it's too long or too lengthy or not relevant? How much do you think people react to video content?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question? I lost everybody.
Okay, so the question was that a lot of people are doing video marketing these days. Do you really think it gets the attention for the right reasons, or are people not watching it because of XYZ reason? What are your thoughts?
I think one of my other members here, who is from Hippo Video, she'll be like the first person to answer that, the best person to answer that. But in my experience, I've seen that text is good, but graphics and video and animation, that is the new trend. That is the new thing in the market. Everybody is looking at their screens and nobody wants to read. So if a visual, whatever visual or graphical ads or impression is there, that makes a huge difference. Video is of course, there's a lot of challenges you need to create. You need to spend a lot of time in for that. And second is the cost constraint. There will be a lot of cost when you are going from text to any kind of graphical or video thing.
Totally.
So if you can tackle those two cases, you can make quality videos, and you can do it at a cost that is in your budget. Then you can, I think, get your ROI. Okay.
Got it. Right on time. Harshal, go for it.
So I think what is the most toughest thing, or the toughest thing what a consumer faces today is thinking. People don't want to think today. They just want to easily compare things. They don't know what they want to purchase until you give them any context. So I feel that is where video marketing comes into place. And it appeals to everyone. Either it's from tier 1 city, tier 2 city, tier 3 city. You can there's a mass appeal in videos, and you can easily convince a person to go for the product and tell him why he needs a product through a video marketing. And that sells better. If you see the consumption also of videos, there's just gone 4 to 5 times higher, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So I feel that's the future of video marketing.
Okay, got it. Sanjana's just waiting to answer this question, so we go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's talk about the attention span.
Let Sohini go first, then we'll come to you. I'm just looking at your
Okay.
expression. You're super excited. Sohini, go for it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he'll give us the final verdict on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just flipped the question to ask that, are people consuming video? Everybody is. Whoever is watching this show at this point of time, they are consuming video. There's absolutely no doubt about that, given the rise of the OTTs and the amount of consumption in YouTube. When it comes to video marketing, the moment we add the word marketing, what changes is that some of the videos become very, very salesy, and consumers are very smart today, and that's when they will not consume it. But look at branded content on the other side. If you can find a way to put your product into the narrative in the most subtle and the most relevant way, consumers convert on branded content like anything, and that has become one of the biggest sources of revenue for companies and as well as for getting new audiences. They like the influencer, they like watching their content, and then you suddenly put in your brand. So I think video marketing is great, it is working, and it is gonna definitely work more.
Okay, got it. So, Sohini, last words. Sorry, Sanjana, this is your turn to answer
Okay.
this.
Fine. So let's talk about, attention span. Nobody has time to read a lengthy, long form content, right? So that is where, videos come into picture. And if you could add a face to the videos, I think that will make a difference. So instead of, creating an animation or an explainer video with some cartoon characters, if you could add your face or an influencer face to the video, I think that will make a difference and that will be so engaging.
Got it. Wonderful. All right. Devesh, next question again goes out to you. What are your top 2 tips for someone to maybe start video marketing or video creation in their organization? Like, what would you suggest someone who's starting from scratch?
Okay, speaking from my experience, because as a startup or even a small company or a independent person who was actually just going to start the marketing, if you're looking for the videos, you have to first understand your audience, your target audience, whatever your target audience is. For example, I'll give you an example of Khatabook. When Khatabook started their campaigns, they took out ads in regional languages, and there were 18 regional languages. Even Google does not roll out their products in so many languages. So taking out, understanding every single market, segmenting it, and first understanding the audience is the first step to understand what kind of videos, what kind of thing you want to put out in, and how you want to project yourself in the outside market. That is, I think, the most important thing anybody should, before starting, should analyze.
Got it. Harshal, go for it.
I think, as also Devesh said, you should understand your audience first. But with that, also, what is important is understanding your own product first. What are you selling? They should also define what your video should be. How elegant, how beautiful your video should be. For example, if you're selling, if you're showing ad of Ferrari, people buy Ferrari or racing cars because of the speed. You want to make sure the speed is captured there, so the videos are shorter. I've seen few examples of videos which are less than 10 seconds of the racing car because it just shows speed. Then if you are showing an Apple product, you want to show elegance, you want to show how premium that product is. You want to cover every feature, but again in a short span. So attention span is as Sanjana also mentioned. So understanding your own product and what it requires is most important in any video marketing.
Got it. Very beautifully put. Sohini, go for it.
So on the you asked for 2 tips. So the first tip, I think everybody kind of agrees that you have to understand the audience better. So I'll go on to the second tip. I think along with understanding the audience, you also have to understand the platform where you're going to do the video for. You can do
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. You can do it on Instagram Reels, you can do it on Facebook, you can do it anywhere that you want. How do you understand that where is it that I'm going to do it? That depends on the audience that you are getting on that particular platform. So, for example, I have an education brand. Now, for me, if I have to associate with any video influencer, then I would look for the kind of influencers who are consumed by my audience. It's very unlikely that I will go to an entertainment portal or go to, say, a children portal. But whereas if I was working for one of the mom companies or one of the child companies, then maybe I'll go to a First Cry or that kind of a platform. So this is something I'm going to very, very understand, and also the platform where you're going to put the video on.
Got it. Yeah, very, very well put. Yeah, very interesting. Sanjana, go for it.
Yeah. So when people think about getting started with video marketing, they just plan out what campaigns are they going to run, how are they going to shoot the video, how are they going to create the video, but then they don't get started. They just get stuck in that planning phase itself. I think you have to get started. Just create a 1-minute video and just put out that in your social media handles and just test it out how it works. And then once you see that it is getting that engagement, automatically the confidence will build up and you will start creating a lot of video content. Because that is the obstacle which people face. They don't just get started. They just get stuck in the planning phase itself. So that is one thing. And yeah, I agree with the other points which the other speakers mentioned, which is to target, you have to understand your audience and then create a story based on your audience that will resonate with your audience. If you can nail these two, then I think your campaigns are going to be successful.
Got it, got it. Devesh, next question goes out to you again. So I don't believe that people are not watching long form content. There's a ton of long form content on YouTube, and people are, using it. What would you say is the one thing that will keep someone watching for like 1 hour? I mean, I don't know, long form, like 30 minutes, 1 hour videos. Like, what is that one factor? And can you explain if you've seen it anywhere or any examples that you can think of?
Yeah, interesting thing about that. I recently came across something on this YouTube ads. Whenever people, whenever people have an option to skip ads, they skip ads. Okay.
Right, right.
So there's like 1 or 2 seconds that they actually have a glance on the video. So I came across a research, and they were showing that how to optimize your first 3 seconds of the video. So they go in that much detail, and they optimize 3 seconds of video so that even if the person is about to click skip ads, he will stop. So
Hmm.
when you're doing any video ad specifically on YouTube, you have to be like, you have to understand that what you're going to do in the first 3 to 5 seconds. That will actually determine your whole thing. Second thing, I would say that if you're making a long video, which is, for an example, at the end of like if it crosses around like 7 minutes, then I would say you have to be very to the point. You have to have an engaging conversation. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Got it, got it. Harshal, what are your thoughts on long form and getting people to watch it?
So in long format videos, I think you should make sure that people are hooked up to the video. You should first understand what makes sure that people are hooked up to the last minute. The whole journey of a person. From starting of the video. The introduction of what is the plot. What are the context of the plot. How the story built, how the story building is taking place, how characters are coming into place, and how the conclusion happens. If you get them hooked up to the last suspense, you keep them intrigued. You keep them very much looking forward to the next minute what is going to happen. So that is, I guess, the formula for video content for them to make sure people are watching till last minute. The
Got
whole
it.
journey of video should be
Got
taken.
it. Got it. So, can you share some examples, maybe if you have, and answer as well?
Sure. So I think if you have to make a long format video, you either entertain or you educate. It has to be either of the two. So
Totally.
you would see on entertainment videos, which are like, be it paid videos by advertisers, they get consumed for a very long duration of time because you are continuously getting something and consumers are getting hooked. So that's the entertainment kind of videos. And second is the education kind of videos. If you look at the different educational videos on YouTube today, which are teaching you different concepts, you will see that there's sometimes the economics videos goes up to 1 hour and people are just watching it.
Right.
Because from there you are getting something that will help you grow in your life. So I think if you can tick any of these two boxes, then your long format video will also work.
Got it. Lovely. Sanjana, go for it.
Yeah, so I have a few tips from the video creation point of view. So if you're going to create a long form video, then I 0101.
Sanjana?
I
Okay,
think
yeah,
we,
you're back.
Okay, so yeah, so if you're gonna start with a long form content, then I think you can follow this format, which is called 11100101. So one stands for great
What is
shot,
this?
and yeah, zero stands for less awesome shot. So so the first 3 to 6 seconds of your video should have a captivating shot, okay, and then you alternate that with a less awesome shot, and then you add an awesome shot. So if you could alternate between this, then you will see the engagement curve always up. Because if you see the engagement curve, it shoots up and then suddenly it starts going down. People don't watch the video completely. So if you could
Wow.
do this, I think, yeah, if you could do this,
I have a question. I have a
Sure, go
question.
for
yeah.
it.
Yeah, can you repeat that
Yeah,
1111
can you repeat
sequence?
it? Because I also
Yeah,
don't think I totally
I'll
understood
just
it.
write it down. I'll just write
Yeah.
it down.
Can you
Okay,
repeat
so
that, please?
it's called 1110101. It's
One,
like a
one.
binary code.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
11100101.
Okay.
So
Thank you so
one
much.
stands for awesome shot, let's say awesome shot, and zero stands for less awesome or a boring shot.
Okay.
Okay, very interesting. We learned
Thank
something new today. Thank you. That was
Yeah.
lovely. All right. Now is the fun part because we're going to switch it over. So, Sanjana, you will probably be answering the question first.
Okay.
And then Sohini will answer it. And then Harshal and then Devesh. So, the next section is on digital marketing. And after that, we'll go into brand. So, digital marketing, right? The first question that goes to you is, what kind of skills are very essential in the digital marketing field? What would you say separates a good digital marketer from an average one?
So two things are important. So one is you need to have a basic, writing skills, because marketing is all about content. And the other thing is you need to be patient, and you need to have this mentality of, experimenting, testing out. You have to just go there and keep changing things and see what's working, what's not, and keep making changes. So if you have these two, I think you are a successful digital marketer.
Got it. Sohini, go for it.
Okay, first let's define the scope of digital marketer. Okay, it can also mean that you are looking at the content, or it can also mean you are just looking at the media alone. Like you are running your campaign. So if by digital marketing we mean someone who's a very very media oriented person, then the biggest skill the person needs to have is understand data, because digital marketing is standing on data analytics, like hands on with Ask Flyer, Google Analytics, whatever tool that you are using, you have to be very, very good with data. Second, you have to have a very good analysis skills, because you will have to always crunch numbers, take insights out of there. And the third thing is digital marketers can never stop learning, because that is something which is always, always growing. Google is changing the algorithm at any point in time. So you have to be a lifetime learner if you have to do anything in the field of digital marketing. I think these are the skill sets you need to have.
Got it. Harshal, right up your alley. Go for it.
Yeah, the only disadvantage of having a last person to answer is, people covered all the points. So I really agree. Like, learning is very important. And understanding your data, etc. So apart from that, what is also important is patience and persistence. Of keep experimenting. Keep going with testing new things, not getting disappointed by having no results. And also, what is also very important is observation. Observing people around you, because that's where you get ideas for your marketing. What kind of campaigns you want to run, what kind of targeting, what kind of messaging. Everything is all because of observing people around you, which is in real life and not in digital life alone.
Got it. Wonderful. Devesh, go for it.
I would like to answer this question with only one statement. Whatever you do, you can answer it by putting it read between the numbers. Whatever it is, if you're doing ads, you just have to look at the numbers. You have to look at the data. If you're doing videos, you have to look at the impression rates. You have to see how much engaging it is. You look at the you're looking at your blogs, your content. You have to see what kind of traffic it is generating, where it is generating from. अगर response आ रहा है कहाँ से आ रहा है, you have to say it's all about just reading between the numbers, no lines. There are no lines in digital marketing. It's all 0 and 1.
Yeah,
That's what I have to
lovely.
say.
Lovely. Totally agreed. Yes. Sanjana, next question goes out to you first. So, ad blockers are digital marketers' biggest enemy. So, how would you run a campaign so that you're reaching the right people, even if they have ad blockers in place?
Okay, so I would always go with influencer marketing, because because if you partner with an influencer and you create content that is going to be an authoritative content, right? And yeah, so if you could partner with influencers and then promote that content, a lot of people are going to know that influencer and they're going to definitely watch it. They're not going to ignore your content, thinking that it is an ad or something. Because anyways, you want to educate your audience, right? If you do that, if you put out that education content, nobody is going to trust you. But if it comes from an influencer, people are going to trust you and they're going to remember your brand. Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting take. Sohini, go for it.
So I'll answer this question from a strategic viewpoint and from a tactical viewpoint. From a strategic point, if you look at it, ad blockers is right now used by, I was looking at the data, some around 25% to 30% of the people in the world, which is very small, and it only affects your ads in the publisher website. So if I look out, I have social media, I have other medium, I have influencer marketing like Sanjana said. There are so many other medium to reach out to the audience. So it's a thread that is on paper and not so much which has come into the use. And second, if I come into a very tactical answer where I am running the ad campaign now and I am gonna put my ads on publishers and I want to be sure that they get views, a very simple method is to use the viewable impression. Google gives you viewable impressions, which assures that whatever impressions that you are getting are viewed by the audience. So when you have a 80%, 90% viewable impression, you're 100% sure that your ad is reaching out to the right person. So it's not a threat at all.
Okay, very interesting. I learned something new. Harshal, go for it.
Yeah, so before I answer this question, I would like to ask one question, that why do people block ads? We should understand that first. People block ads because of unpleasant experience. The user experience is not that great. For example, if you show an video with audio on in a Chrome when you are on mobile Chrome when you're browsing or reading something, and suddenly a video pops out with audio, that's a bad user experience. There was a survey which said 30% of people who saw an video plus audio ad on a Chrome mobile blocked had an ad blocker on. And compared to that, if you show the same thing on YouTube, for example, where people are consuming videos with audios, the survey said that 1.5 the brand awareness was 1.5 times higher when video plus audio was on YouTube. So that plays very important role. So as a marketer, if I want to make sure my audience doesn't block my ads, is by making sure that placement is right, the messaging is right, the platform is right. The kind of ads I'm showing, the user experience, should be the prime focus, and also what is their frequency. The frequency of ads should not be much higher. If we are showing, bombarding a person with ads, say 10 times a day, you're following him everywhere, definitely he'll block your ads.
True, absolutely. Devesh, go for it.
We play a lot of games. You must all have come across a game where there is an ad when you're playing the game and there is an ad in between. Can you block that?
Yeah,
You cannot block ad. You can switch off your data. You can switch off everything. You whatever you want to do. You want to put it in Hiroshima and drop a bomb on it, but it won't stop. That is the beauty of that. So what I would suggest is you have to find new mediums where you can target your ads, which will be out of the domain of ad blocks. For example, the YouTube ad on mobile cannot be blocked, but on a browser it can be blocked. So you have to analyze first where your content is going, and you have to retarget your campaigns, reanalyze. I think it's just about complete overall of change strategy. If you're heavily affected by ad blocks, then you have to change your medium.
Got it. Yeah, totally. Very well answered. So Sanjana, next question goes out to you. How do content marketing and digital marketing work hand in hand to drive results?
All right. So I think content is at the heart of marketing, right? Without content, you will not be able to market anything. Because when you talk about the traditional marketing, which were there a decade ago, people used to go to their house and they used to sell the product. There you didn't want any content to help you out with marketing. But now everything is digitalized, so you need content without which you will not be able to sell anything online. So that is where the importance of content plays a bigger role here.
Got it. Very interesting. Sanjana, Sohini, go for it.
Content and digital marketing, they are completely interlinked and one doesn't stand without the other. Like, for example, digital at the end of the day is a medium to market. But I might have 10 lakhs to spend on Facebook, but what will I do? I need an ads, right? And that is what the content is going to give me. And look at it from the other point of view. Suppose I spend 1 crore in making the best of the ad film, and then I don't have a medium to market it. What am I going to do with that film? So that's when I need the digital or any other medium for that matter. So content and marketing, digital marketing, they both go hand in hand. One does not stand without the other. So that's the ecosystem that we are living in right now. Yeah.
Got it. Harshal, go for it.
Yeah, so ever since I've started, listening about marketing or learning about marketing, one thing which hasn't changed is content is the king. There is a so.
I think we lost Harshal. Okay, yeah, you're back. You can continue.
Yeah, so the content is the king as something which hasn't changed. So when we say content, I think it doesn't just mean long articles, etc., but also in videos. The kind of content which is there is in videos. And as I said earlier, that people don't want to think today. You want to tell them why they should buy the product, or why, what impact they will have. The product will have in your life, or how you are impacting others' life with that product. So I feel that's where content comes into the place. I feel it gives depth to the marketing, and it converts like nothing else. And content not just about the product description, or about what product is and all about, but the social messaging or the social aspects of it. I feel that plays important role.
Got it. Devesh, what is your take on this?
I agree with everyone, and specifically, it is directly related. Content and digital is directly related, as Sohini aptly put it. That one is not complete without the other. You can create content, but you have to put it on a platform, and that's where digital marketing comes. So at the heart of the matter, I would say anywhere, what is digital marketing? Digital marketing is just throwing your content around. So if the content isn't good, then whatever you can spend as much money as you want, but you won't get the result of the target from the target audience. That's what I think.
Got it. All right. So now let's move into brand marketing, which is the next segment of this show and also the last one. So, everybody that's watching live, if you have any questions, please start putting them in the chat box. I'll try and get them answered at the end of the show. So, all right, brand marketing. Fun question for all of you. Not a hard technical knowledge based question. What is the one brand marketing campaign that you've seen in the recent past that you think has been done beautifully? Sanjana, go for it.
Okay, so I'm not able to recollect any marketing campaign on top of my head. But then, if you want your campaign to be successful, I think there are three things that you need to take care of. One is you need to be able to explain your capabilities in a very simple and creative way as possible. And then the offer is really important. If you don't have the right offer, then your campaign is not going to stick and it is not going to go viral. And the third thing is experience. You have to provide a good user experience. So if you could provide these three in your marketing campaigns, I think that is going to stand out.
Got it. Sohini, what's your take on any recent campaigns you've seen?
Sure. So I could not decide one. I have two in mind. So one is a Nike campaign which got completely viral, and I'm sure everybody has seen it. I think it's a brilliant way of showing that whatever comes, Corona comes, COVID comes, like we are not stopping. So I think that's a brilliant ad. And the second one is that of a Volvo campaign. I'm not sure how many of you know about it. So this time during the Super Bowl Sunday, what Volvo did was a lot of other car brands were advertising on TV. There was Mercedes, there was everybody, and they were spending millions of dollars. And Volvo wanted to stand out, and they did not have that kind of budget. So what they did was they started a Twitter contest saying that whenever you see a car ad on the TV during the game, start tweeting and you get a chance to win a car. So every time a competitor's ad came on, people were not looking at the screen and they were looking at the phone. They generated around 2,000 tweets per minute, and they were the only car brand that was sending across in
Wow.
and
So
then
smart.
sales also went up, yes, and that's a crazy good campaign. I think that it's just the brains that got the campaign right.
Yeah, lovely. Harshal, any good campaigns you've seen?
Yeah, so what kind of campaigns what appeals to me is the smart and witty ones. Where the messaging is really witty, and the how they portray is really smart. So and one Nike was one of them. How that shown the kind of editing, the voiceover, everything was really great. So apart from that, there was one campaign from BMW, which shows the CEO of Mercedes when he resigned.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciated by everyone when he was when he resigned, and how he led Mercedes for 30 years and all. After the chauffeur leaves him at his home, he comes with a BMW from his garage. And, finally, he doesn't have to drive Mercedes anymore. So that
Yeah.
is one of the campaign which was really appealing. And one thing, one of the other campaign back in my school days, I think you all would have seen the Hindu ad, where a professor just asks one question to the classroom. He just gives one sentence to the audience that he expects any discussion on this topic in a parliamentary behavior. The next thing, people are throwing chairs at each other. They're abusing each other. Watching some content in their mobile. And it just ends with one single of Vaishnava Janatu with just one sentence. Behave yourself, India. The youth are watching.
Oh God.
How does huge impact on me?
Very nice.
The way I look at brands and
Very nice. Awesome. Devesh, share some with us.
Yeah, it's a difficult question for me because I don't watch TV. But one campaign that came to me very recently was from Myntra, and it's not just about the ads that video ad that they put out with Anushka and Virat, but it was also about the whole messaging of the whole campaign. Myntra had recently I read a research that not research, it was a paper article actually. Myntra had lost almost like 95% of their revenue, incoming revenue in the month of May. So what they did was they still on their app. People were coming to their app and they were just just browsing. So what they learned was they don't have anything to buy, but they're still going to their app. So what they did is they organized a campaign based on that. They developed the content for it, and right now what they're running is they're running ads based on the content that whatever people came, whatever content they read, they are retargeting them, and the messaging and all has also been changed. So it's all like you shop with us, you just concentrate on shopping, we will concentrate on giving you the information. So that is
Lovely.
also very innovative.
Lovely. All right. Next question goes out to Sanjana. So, Sanjana, if I took away social media from you and you had to still raise brand awareness, what channels would you use and how would you do it?
I would go with SEO, which is like inbound, because when you talk about SEO and inbound marketing, it is all intent based. People are going to come to you. You're not going to them. When you talk about social media or outbound marketing, you go to people, right? So there the intent is very less. But when you talk about SEO and inbound, the intent is high because people are going to come to you, and so selling is going to become easier. The sales cycle also will become shorter. So that is why I would always go with SEO and inbound.
All right. Interesting. Sohini?
Hands down TV, because you have not given me any sort of a budget constraint, and if I don't have a budget, then hands down TV, because the kind of reach that TV gives me in India, nothing else can cross that. And if I want awareness as the quickest way of getting my awareness to a very large audience, so that's going to be my bet.
That's awesome. Very smart. You answered it in like 10 seconds. I was just looking at the clock. Harshal,
I
go
do
for
that
it.
as a part of the job.
Harshal, go for it.
So if you take away social media from me, my job will be not costing. And yeah. So second thing, the kind of I think Sohini answered it really well. TV ads is something which is really good because this is very good kind of push marketing. And another kind of push marketing which is really aggressive and which captures mind of people is salesmen. Salesmen outside every brick and mortar store. So I feel that's where I would put a lot of money into because that is where I can target demographically. I know people outside the locality in Mumbai behaves this way and appreciates this kind of language and this kind of banners, etc. So I would go completely to traditional media, showing banners, sending my salesman to that posh locality, and with all suit, blazer, everything, and target them perfectly with that product.
Got it. Devesh, your turn.
I would like to point out to the case study, another one of MyGate. What MyGate people did was when they were supposed to, MyGate is like a kind of a app that helps the societies, manage their things. So what MyGate did was their marketing team, they knew on which lane, which billboard was facing which way.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so from every targeted city. So what I would say is, if you're going to raise brand awareness, you have to go and have an in-depth knowledge of whatever medium or whatever audience, whatever thing your audience is facing. If he's facing a screen, then you have to retarget it. If he's facing a newspaper, you have to look at that. If he's going the traffic and he is listening to the radio, you have to target. Okay, let's go on radio FM. So I would say brand marketing depends heavily on what industry or what your audience is or what company you're running. So
Got
that is the best thing about brand marketing.
Got it. Lovely. Sanjana, next question to you is, we use hashtags all the time on social media, right? Like, kuch bhi karte hai, hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. LinkedIn, baby, there's a lot of hashtags. how does this really help with brand awareness, brand marketing? Like, why should people use hashtags and use them well? If they're trying to build a brand.
Okay, so we go follow hashtags because we think the topic is interesting or we think the hashtag is interesting, and we want to keep ourselves updated with what's happening, in those topics. That is why we go follow hashtags. So if you could just add relevant hashtags in your post, I think you will get the chance of appearing in front of those high intent audience. So that is the reason why you should add hashtags.
Got it. Sohini, what is your take on hashtags?
Yeah, so hashtag makes you a part of an unsaid community because a lot of people are following, like, what initially you would do in Facebook, join a group, but today if you're following a hashtag, you're basically a part of the community. So that's the big thing. Second is it also helps me get reach because I might have 10,000 followers on my page, but if I use a hashtag, the hashtag may have 20,000 followers, and thus my reach goes way above than my followers. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is hashtag also gives you the way to build your own community. Like if I have my personal hashtag, so anybody searching by that hashtag will get my content. So basically I own that space. Like, suppose I want to own a space of I don't know, child's garment, and say for every post I write something like a child garment special, and then after 100 posts, anybody who was using my hashtag is basically exposed to my content, and that increases the longevity of your content.
Got it. Harshal?
Yeah, so I feel the marketers are the most jugadu people out there, and hashtags was one of the jugads I guess every marketer is using today, because marketers, they don't want to leave out a single space of advertising. I think hashtag is as good as a jingle. Paytm Karo. We all know Paytm Karo is a jingle that the sound of Paytm Karo comes into our mind. So it's just kind of hashtag is a kind of promotional avenue what marketers have taken into. And as soon as you see a hashtag Paytm Karo or hashtag XYZ, your tribe. That is what my tribe is. And I think you have answered beautifully. Even Vanshika, I guess few days back you answered to one of the comments on LinkedIn on why hashtags are important. It builds a long-term brand value. To keep a track of all the posts and everything. So I feel for long-term it plays a really important role.
Got it. Devesh?
First of all, as pointed out repeatedly by everybody, first of all, it helps you increase your reach. Second, you can grow your community. Third thing that I would say that I have noticed, hashtags improve your engagement rate. It's not just important. The impressions are good. You can have that reach, but how people interact with that, whether they like your post, whether they share it, if they like the video, whether they show it to somebody else. If it's not just Facebook or LinkedIn, if you're just looking at a video on your mobile phone, and if you go to your family, okay, look, I saw this. So that is also like it's an engagement. So if you can use that, hashtags help you increase that engagement. So if you can do that. The hashtags are very good in that sense.
Got it, got it. And one last question in this department is, so we use PR as a way to build brand. What have you seen success within when you mix PR and brand and you do it well? Any tips, tricks, or maybe how you've done it for your organization?
No, I've not. I don't have any experience in PR, so
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So when you go for it.
Yeah, so I think I have been leading PR for quite some time, and I cannot finish how PR helps you within a minute. All I would say is that if you can really scale PR, it is going to be the cheapest source of traffic that you can ever bring to your platform. Second, it brings in huge credibility that your regular advertising will not bring because PR comes from all the big media houses, and you can create a lot of noise with PR. You can get the eyes of the right audiences. So PR works beautifully, but it is something that requires a lot of patience to scale it up and bring it into a stage where you can reap the benefits of it. And that's the problem that happens with many brands. PR, like any other marketing, does not give results as soon as you start it. So it's a matter of patience and skill.
Got it. Harshal, what has been your experience with PR and brand?
So I remember the quote of Bill Gates. He says that if he has $1 to spend anywhere, he'll spend on PR. So I feel PR plays a very important role, as Sohini also mentioned. And one of the I think the best kind of PR is compassion. The kind of compassion you show to the society is the best kind of PR I think out there. For example, Zomato, Zomato has just acquired one NGO called Feeding India. I'm sure all of
Mm-hmm.
us know about that NGO. So even though they are not the main motto might not be of PR, but the kind of awareness, the kind of the social aspect of Zomato towards society is shown by Feeding India. So that all is all PR. Even though the motto is not the same, but this all leads to good PR activity and in the long term brand building.
Got it. Lovely. Devesh?
I would say PR is kind of a challenge when it comes to startups and small companies because the budget is very limited, and any kind of PR, even a small article in the newspapers, requires a lot of investment. So what I would say that in PR, you have to first see what kind of PR you're doing. Is it for sales, or is it for branding, or are you like targeting a bunch of VCs, venture capital companies, so that you can get investment? So for a small company or startups, I would say it is you have to first see that how much you can afford to spend on PR. But yeah, as far as the PR's credibility and reach is concerned, there is no doubt it pays off. And yeah, as Sohini pointed out, this is also very difficult to track its ROI. You cannot say how much return you're getting it. It will come back in 1 month. It will come back in 6 months. You don't. Yeah,
I think,
that also happens.
Devesh, I'm sorry, I'm just cutting you a bit there. So I think you are confusing
Yeah.
paid PR versus organic PR. So for paid PR,
Okay.
your cost would be very high to get an article. For an organic PR, its
Hmm.
cost is zero. So at a cost of zero
Yeah. Yeah.
rupees, you get your news across every place, bringing you credibility. So that is how it becomes the cheapest way of marketing. And second, now PR also gives methods of tracking. In certain cases, if you are using paid PR, you can definitely use your links with the UTM parameters through which you will get direct attribution. Secondly, if you are not doing that, on a particular day, you will see a uplift in your brand direct organic traffic. So that will also give you a sense on how your PR is performing.
Okay.
Lovely, lovely. Thanks for
That,
adding
that
that
that does help
in.
me. That does
Yes,
help me a lot.
very helpful. I love how you guys all played with each other's answers. Lovely. Lovely having all of you here. This brings us to the end of the show. I hope you all enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed presenting it to all of you. And as always, the link will be on YouTube. So, in case you missed any part of the show, I would highly recommend to please go check out the YouTube channel. We've got all the past Marketing Rapid Fire episodes there as well. And this one should be up there in about 3 to 5 days as well. So, thank you to everybody that joined us today. Thank you to all the panelists. And it was wonderful hosting all
And
of
thank
you.
you, Vanshika, for
And
being such a lovely host and giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank
Man.
you. Thank
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Vanshika,
it
thank
was
you.
fun. It was fun.
It was
That's
fun.
awesome.